G'day, I'm Dave. Today we're doing another Can It Be Saved? It's a tool very few of us probably have ever seen. I know it's one I don't even own. One of the few actually I don't own. It's called a contour sander. It's basically similar to an orbital sander, except that it has multiple heads, and the whole idea is each one of these heads can wobble. You can see here on the side that they wobble. And this is great for if you're doing, let's say, a sanding of a chair where you have the bum's been contoured or carved out of the wood. The whole idea is as this thing sands through the wood, each one of these will move and pivot and allow you to sand everything properly. Again, this is a tool that was junked, and so we're going to have a quick look to see what's wrong with it. The top half, as you can tell just by looking at it, it's just a plain and simple orbital sander. It's really just this black portion that's changed. So we're only going to open up the black portion. These particular pads actually just under pressure and are pressed in. So we're just going to pop each one of them out. I can tell you right off the bat what one of the problems is. If you notice, there's the bearing. The bearing allows, of course, that pad to be spun. It's got a little shaft, I'll show you right there, with the T that locks onto each one of those. So what's happening is these little bearings are just pressed over top of this, and you can see the plastic's been broken a little bit. So the plastic's been broken on that one and on that one. We can see the bearings are still sitting inside. So what we have to do is look at replacing those particular portions. We'll just have a quick look inside here. And there comes your plate right off. And there's your bearings still sitting inside. We can just press them out. It doesn't take much force. I can literally just push. There's the one bearing. They're just pressed into this plastic. It's fairly simple. Again, these bearings you can actually go back to manufacturer, or they're just off-the-shelf type of bearings. And what we need to do, though, for the manufacturer is go back and get these particular plates. If we can't track them down, a good alternative, I'm just keeping this tool for myself, you can actually buy molten plastic where you can buy a little rod and a soldering iron, you can melt it in. I like using construction adhesive and actually just filling this completely and then using the one that's good as my mold, in a sense where I find the right size drill bit that fits in there, I re-drill that. I look at the cross cut, I take my hacksaw and recut it so I can reshape these two to match the original one, and then make sure once I have these bearings in, they should press down and they should stay in there. I can actually, if I really want to, put a little bit of glue on the inside, because these bearings are actually split bearing. The center shaft, the splinter ring stays solid and the outside turns. So after I can rebuild this up, I can put a tiny little bit of glue all the way around, pop that on, and those will now stay solid on here, so they won't be popping off anymore. And as far as the seat, if they don't sit properly in here, I can actually just heat this up a little bit with a bit of a hot air gun, push it in a little bit. But these look like there's no damage at all. They feel good. As you push it down, you should feel it just click in place. There it goes. There that one goes. And there goes the third. So I know that point is fine. I know what my issue is. That's fine. So we're just going to set that aside. Have a look inside. The difference, of course, between this and random orbital is we got all these extra gearing. These gears just pull out. And you notice, again, similar idea. There's your bearing. This one stayed behind. I'll pull out the last one. Bearing came out with it. Whether it stays in or not, it's really not a big deal. If I want to clean it out properly, I can take a little paper clip, bend a little hook, put it down, and just pull that bearing out. These little gears should just come right off as well. What's left is just your center shaft, no different than on a random orbital. So what we do at this point, just clean out all the sawdust. Once we get all the sawdust all cleaned out, we can then put it back together. These particular gears are actually a type of plastic, so you have to be careful of what kind of grease you use. I tend to prefer using the same kind of grease I use on air tools, which is actually a food grade grease. It's designed to be absolutely safe with plastic, safe with rubber, it won't eat anything away. Re-grease all these back up, put it all back in place. As you can tell, This is probably one of our easier repairs we've ever done. These parts, the only parts that were broken, actually just pulled right off. This is a tool that probably would have went into the garbage otherwise, but for a few minutes, we figured out what the problem is. We have nothing to lose because otherwise the tool would have gone in the garbage, and to bring it into a repair shop would cost you a fortune. So instead, what we can do is, now that we know what's wrong, go to ereplacementparts.com, order up the new parts, and literally once they arrive, pop them in, and we're done. We have a working tool ready to be used and saved ourselves quite a few dollars from buying a new tool or sending it out for repair. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or concerns, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next video.